Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us on day 20 of the final campaign on the interpretation of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. As usual, we're going to stand for the national anthem of the Yoruba Republic. Thank you very much. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, orílẹ̀ ìbí wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fáyé rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́ kájọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ni ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Yeah, thanks so much. That's the national anthem of the Yoruba nation, the Oduduwa Republic. Yeah, it's been the last 20 days of our campaign. What brought about this campaign was another campaign that we did in 2019 called Keep Igbo Off Yoruba Land, upon which we clearly stated to the Yoruba nation that we have always been an independent nation, respected by the English colonial Turks, respected by the Committee of Nations. But unfortunately, the Igbo people, in an attempt to enslave the entire Yoruba nation, as well as other nations within Nigeria, in 1966, suspended our constitution, suspended the constitution of Nigeria, and killed our leaders. That was in 1966. During the course of that campaign, we said to the Yoruba nation that there is a constitution, and everyone, particularly the Yoruba leaders, they said that there was nothing like the constitution of Western Nigeria, which is actually the constitution of Yoruba land. So then we set machinery in motion to bring this constitution to the general public. But unfortunately, the irresponsible English police arrested me on the 6th of August 2019 for terrorism on the allegation of my ex-wife, who doesn't want me to get the custody of our children from her, after my son had complained to staff at school that the mother was bringing different men to the family home. And I tried as a father to get the custody of my children from her, upon which she made the false allegations of terrorism against me, which affected not only our movement, it affected the entire Yoruba nation because of the position I now occupied as one of the voice of the Yoruba nation. But unfortunately, we were stopped in our track to sharpen the inside of the Yoruba nation to the greatness that we so desire to see. But regardless of the attempt on the part of the English establishment to stop our movement, we are not relenting. We've learned from their past atrocities, how they've been confronted by other nations and how they've been defeated. The people of Northern Ireland confronted them because they wanted freedom. They enlisted the support of the United States of America, and they got their freedom back. There were times that the English colonial government took possession of Hong Kong. The Chinese made several attempts to get that small island back, but they failed 3 times. But on the 4th occasion, they armed themselves with a military weapon and simply gave an instruction to the English establishment that they either release or come and they go to war with them, because they know that they no longer have the military capability and capacity to confront China. They gave up or come. Yoruba nation is the newest nation on planet Earth that is confronting the irresponsible English establishment, who have been doing everything humanly possible to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation using neocolonialism. An attempt whereby they identify minority ethnic groups in Nigeria, support them with military weapons in order to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation, who are actually the economic backbone of Nigeria. So we brought out this constitution, and because of our court case, because I've been charged for racial hatred in 4 of my videos, so we have to take time and set our priority right. While I've been in court since March 2020, first challenging the police for arresting me for terrorism without charging me for almost 10 months. At that court hearing in March, they dismissed the allegation of terrorism. But because they don't want to be shamed, they say that I've used inflammatory language in 4 of my videos. So we are in court with them, and I've been charged for racial hatred. It is an aberration, folks. I remember when I first came to this country, and I stayed in their country because of the health of my son. For 7 years of my living here, I had no paper to work, I have no rights to live, and I have a sick child. Then they were not thinking it is necessary for myself and my family to be protected. They deny me every opportunity to raise my children, to give the best health care for my son. But today, they're charging me with racial hatred. I think their action is worse than racial hatred. But we're not going to be bothered about their action. We're marching on. We're putting forward. But one thing our movement and our generation will not accept is that every now and then the best of our brains are destroyed and we don't do anything. So I've been advocating for this. I want English national in Yoruba land to be treated the way Yoruba citizens are treated in England. That is, they must do the kind of job that we do in their country. They must not be given superior priority over us. They must be discriminated against when it comes to job, when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to security of lives and property. That is how they treated us. For a police to have arrested an innocent father 8 times of his living under 13 years that I've lived in England, they've arrested me 8 consecutive times, put me in prison twice, taking me to court 3 times, locked me up in police cells 6 times. It is unacceptable. And we cannot think like our parent generation have become the Yoruba heritage, speaking truth to power, helping to shape Yoruba nation. We should treat English national in our own country. So I'm advocating for that the English who lives in Lagos and Ibadan in particular be treated very, very badly. And we must say to them that we don't want them in our space. We will leave England on the condition that the irresponsible English government that is supporting minority Fulani to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation supports the dissolution of Nigeria. But they will not support the dissolution of Nigeria because they are stealing the wealth of the Yoruba people. That is why I'm going to explain the 17 sustainable development growth that we are lacking in Yoruba land as a result of the English support and backing of the minority Fulani to kill our leaders. It was the English support upon which MK Abiola was assassinated. We will show you that the best way to get our freedom is to prepare for war. We've been suppressed and subjugated for far too long. And if we continue to pander to the dictates of fear or appealing to Fulani and the evil who kill your leaders, then our generation will have been wasted generation, completely wasted. We must treat people the same way that we have been so treated. No nation on planet Earth can accept to be enslaved twice. That is what is happening to the Yoruba nation. That is why in 2020, your waterway is under the control of Hausa Fulani. In 2020, the prisons across Yoruba land are under the command and control of the Hausa Fulani. In 2020, the taxes that you paid in Yoruba land are used to fund the economic growth and development of Hausa Fulani land, the Kanuri land, the Middle Belt, and Igbo land. This is 2020. Yet, you cannot control your police. You cannot control your home military. You go to the military barracks across Yoruba land, the language of communication is Hausa, sometimes Fulani language. This is slavery. And every now and then, we continue to believe that we have to be scared of the irresponsible English establishment who are supporting Fulani. This life is about our lives. You need the support of other people to get whatever it is that you want. You don't just go for the support of ordinary people. You go for the support of somebody that is superior to you, who can provide you the desire that you so desire. That is why we will continue to advocate that the leadership of the Yoruba nation speak to the good people of the United States of America for support. But to address this closing of this campaign, I will say a very big thank you to the Los Angeles Law Library for making available to the young Yoruba for freedom a copy of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. It is an insult that we prided ourselves as the most educated out of Nigeria, and we often say that we are the most educated out of Africa. Yet, our only constitution, the Constitution of Yoruba land, we don't even have a copy in any of our university. And this is part of the reasons why I will say that Yoruba land is an illiterate society. We prided ourselves as the most educated out of Africa, but look at what happened in South Africa. In 1994, the Zulu ethnic group insisted that there must be a regional system of government, that they will not accept the replacement of the minority Afrikaner with the replacement of Sesoba people, because Mandela was a Sesoba man, and as well as Tambo Mbeki. The Zulu people said it is regional government. They want to control their own region. That is why today in South Africa, the Zulu people have their own region called KwaZulu-Natal region. But do we have our own region anymore? There is no longer Western Nigeria or Yoruba region or Oduduwa Republic. Yet we continue to pride ourselves and say that we are the most educated out of Africa. Look at Zimbabwe. The Shona people have their own region. Look at Ghana. The Ashanti people have their own region. These are our contemporary before the incursion of the colonial talks from England, France, and Germany into the body politics of the continent of Africa. Our contemporaries across Africa have their own distinct regions. But what do we have as Yoruba people? We've been balkanized into Osun State, Ogun State, Lagos State, Kwara State, part of Kogi State. The Shekiri people are down in Delta State. Akoko Edo, that is Yoruba speaking local government, is subsumed as part of Edo State. We have been destroyed as a people. Yet our contemporaries have their own region. We don't have one Yoruba region. And who do you blame? We blame our parent generation who are irresponsible, when Fulani were using guns to kill them. They were protesting with their fists. Who do we blame? We don't have to blame the Igbo that suspended the regional system in 1966. They did so for their own self-interest. We don't have to blame the Fulani that have used organized violence to perpetrate themselves in power. No. We don't have to blame the irresponsible English that are selling weapons to Fulani to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. We don't have to blame these people. Our parent generation failed us. So we must adopt organized violence. We must embrace the use of chemical and biological weapons to defend our own civilization. If I continue to live in England, I will die a miserable death. Under 13 years that I've lived in this country, for the first 7 years, I had no paper to work. Yet I have a son that was born with a medical condition, who needs medical health care, and who needs to get to eat good food, who needs to live in good accommodation. I remember when I used to take my son through staircase because he wouldn't sleep. He was diagnosed with sleep apnea. What can I do as a father just to exercise my son? I lacked everything in the very first 7 years that I came to this country. It is because it is not my country, it would never be. But if we have continued with the regional system of government, my son will have had a good life when he was born. I will not be so desperate to want to live in a society that is not mine, in a society that their police are strict, irresponsible set of people who look at you because of the color of your skin and can summarily kill you. No. Our parent generation failed. Now, the mantle of leadership has been passed to our own generation. And if we think that we must be stupid like our parent generation, then our children, they will lose touch completely with whatever you call Yoruba nation, whatever you call Yoruba culture, whatever you call Yoruba tradition. I live in England. I've seen the experience of what discrimination is all about. I cannot attain my full human potential because I'm not English. If you go to Yoruba land still today in 2020, you cannot work the best job and the top job in Yoruba land, your own homeland. It is that jobs that are reserved for Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo. Our best jobs in Yoruba land have been taken away from us. So if you and I will do nothing, there will be destruction upon our nation. We must do to others how they have treated us. We must chase away the Igbo from Yoruba land. It is not their homeland. The Igbo destroyed Nigeria and brought Yoruba down to the level we are. We must chase away the Hausa Fulani from our land. They cannot come from their own space and control the federal government jobs, ministries, and departments in Yoruba land. There is nowhere that is done. So where is that job for you, Yoruba, in England, where you face discrimination? In Canada, where you face discrimination? In America, where you face discrimination? Is it in France, where you face discrimination? Is it in Germany, where you face discrimination? There is no future for you and your children abroad. The Yoruba dream is for us to make Yoruba land great. So I want to thank the YYF members in the United States of America who work assiduously to get us a copy of our Constitution. And I will give a special thanks to the YYF donors who are funding our public course of actions. And they have taken extra support for my personal expenses. I'm very grateful to you, and we will be very grateful to you. We want to thank our Director of Research and Development, Gbemisola Aduke, for your work on the interpretation of the Constitution of Western Nigeria, and the constitutional lawyers we have consulted and who have directed us on how we're going to interpret our Constitution. I want to thank you especially for your effort. I want to say a big thank you to the media teams of the YYF for working on this campaign. And that I was told this morning that we have been able to reach over 130,000 viewers who have watched our campaign in the last 20 days. We would like to say special thanks to all members of the Young Yoruba for Freedom in Yoruba land, in North America, in Western Europe, Middle East, in Asia, and the continent of Africa. I will say a very big thank you to South Africans who have reached out to me, who have watched a lot of our videos, and they are so impressed that we've helped them to identify Igbo as criminals, and they are dealing with them, and we support what you do. And to all the wildlife members, we must get down to work to rebuild our nation without us having weapons. And our weapon of choice is chemical and biological weapon. Believe you me, we will not be able to safeguard the interest and welfare of the Yoruba nation. We will not be able to protect the future of our children and our grandchildren if we do not acquire weapons with which to defend our humanity, to defend our civilization. While the coronavirus pandemic was ongoing, the federal government of Nigeria, led by Buhari, a Fulani, was buying up weapons. He was buying weapons. The Fulani are now working with the Chinese to develop chemical and biological weapons to fight against the Yoruba nation. If Hillary Clinton had won the election in 2016, Fulani would have overrun the entire Africa, West Africa in particular. That was why they were building military base in Chad. Buhari pledged $100 million for that effort. The military base in Chad was to be used to overrun the entire West Africa, and the Yoruba is their target. If you think that Yoruba nation has the wherewithal to get to the Dua Republic or to get to rule Nigeria without the support of the United States of America, you're joking. We need that alliance. We need that friendship. We need the support of the United States of America. So to the young Yoruba for freedom and the Yoruba conservative, we must develop this weapon without which our civilization will be eroded in our lifetime. I want to especially thank the Vice President of the Young Yoruba for Freedom. He stepped up into the leadership of YYF when I was intimidated, harassed, and threatened by the irresponsible police in England. I'm very grateful for your efforts. And I want to say a big thank you to our Director of Intelligence. He will have to clear every meeting I'm having, and he will have to tell me what to say in public sometimes. I'm very grateful for your support. And a special thank you to our Director of Communication, Tinola Ashake, who has stood with us since 2012 when we founded this movement. Tinola Ashake is currently working with the APC as a senior special advisor, and then she will be contesting election very soon. And we want to say to members of the public to continue to vote for the Yoruba APC. They are the only political party as of today, and they have always been, who are pro-Yoruba to the core. And we are proud to work with them because we are pro-Yoruba to the core. And we're grateful to everyone else that I have not mentioned. Our movement has done so much to change the course of history. Folks, we will get home the bacon. From 2023, we will take the presidency of Nigeria. To the eternal shame of the irresponsible English establishment supporting Fulani, to the eternal shame of the Fulani people who are minority in Nigeria, they contributed nothing they contributed zero to the revenue of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Fulani people. As a group, they contributed nothing to the revenue and the running of Nigeria. The Hausa is different from the Fulani. Hausa as a people only contributed 2.5% to the revenue of the running of the federal government of Nigeria. The Igbo as a collective contributes only 1.5%. The Yoruba nation, we are the economic backbone of Nigeria, making 49% contribution into the running of that country. The Fulani that contributed nothing to the running of Nigeria are the one ruling us, supported by the irresponsible English establishment. We will say to the English, we know you try to kill people who are speaking out the truth. We're not going to hug you. We will do likewise to you as well. This is a war, and we must go out and fight. You fought against Hitler and the Germans to free your homeland from being occupied by Hitler and Germans. You fought against the Roman Empire simply because your king wanted to divorce his wife. Such a mundane thing led to war. We will not fold our hands and continue to observe you funding Fulani, supporting Fulani, backing Fulani with military weapons with which they suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. We will fight you. We will choose this battle, and we've chosen the battle already. The theater of war is Lagos, Yoruba land. It will go down, because without which the Yoruba nation will never rise. So folks, we must bring home the bacon in 2023. We must take the presidency of Nigeria. For the first time since Nigeria attained independence 60 years ago, the Yoruba will be president of Nigeria from 2023. We must remember what they did to Awolowo, what they did to Abiola. We must not allow that to happen to Tinubu. So that is why you must arm yourself with weapons. Folks, the constitution of Western Nigeria proves beyond any reasonable doubt that the 1914 amalgamation of the various ethnic groups in Nigeria is not the cause of our problem. If you look at the constitution of Western Nigeria, all the law that created Nigeria was repealed in the constitution of Western Nigeria, including the amalgamation legislation. Everything repealed. We became an independent nation in 1951 when we got our self-rule from the English colonial thugs. The problem of Nigeria is the responsibility of the Igbo who destroyed the regional system of government. The constitution of Western Nigeria shows that the Yoruba nation used to be an independent nation until the Igbo used organized violence to suspend our constitution and impose the unitary system on the country. You've seen it from that constitution. The constitution of Western Nigeria shows that Yoruba land as an independent nation was divided into 5 administrative authorities. What are these 5 administrative authorities that the Yoruba nation was divided into? Number 1 is the regional authority. Number 2 is the provincial authority. Number 3 is the divisional authority. Number 4 is the district authority. Number 5 is the native authorities. If you are to go by the current administrative structure under the unitary system, the regional authority has been taken away from us. The provincial authority are now called states. The divisional authorities are now called local government. The district authority are now called wards. And the native authority under our baales have been removed from our political boundaries across Yoruba land. You will agree with me that the constitution of Western Nigeria shows that Yoruba land was led by the following leaders occupying these following offices. Yoruba land as an independent nation had four main leaders. Number one is the head of state of Yoruba land, which was captured as the office of governor. We, as a movement, the Young Yoruba for Freedom, changed the name to the head of state rather than governor of Yoruba land. The occupier of that office remains the Oni of Ife. The second position in the Yoruba nation as an independent nation, as captured by the Constitution of Western Nigeria, is the president of the House of Obas and its members. That office is led by Alaafin of Oyo with 87 Obas plus 4 special members who are chosen from 4 different families in Yoruba land for their role to safeguard and protect the interests and welfare of the Yoruba nation. The third position under the independent Yoruba nation is the position of the premier, who is the leader of government business, and he works together with the cabinet ministers appointed to perform their functions to make Yoruba land great. The fourth and final political position under the Yoruba as an independent nation was the office of the Speaker and members of the House of Assembly. We changed the name to the Yoruba Parliament. These were the 4 political positions in Yoruba land as an independent nation. All of these positions have been destroyed by the Igbo people who suspended our constitution in 1966. So you will see that the Oni of Ife, the Alaafin of Oyo, and members of the House of Obas, the Premier and Cabinet Ministers, and the Speaker and members of the House of Assembly all operated under the regional authority. Remember, I said that the Yoruba political boundaries as an independent nation, we were divided into 5 authorities: regional authority, provincial authority, which we call state, divisional authority, which we call local government, district authority, which we now call wards, and native authorities under Baale. The first authority, which is regional authority, has 4 political leadership, like I've just enumerated. The office of the head of state, led by Oni of Ife. The office of the president of Yoruba land, led by Alaafin of Oyo, and 87 Obas, plus 4 special members. The office of the premier, which is together run by the cabinet minister, and the office of the speaker and members of the Yoruba Assembly. These 4 positions, they operated under the regional authority. The next authority after the regional authority is the provincial authority, which we call the states today. When we ran regional government, our constitution recognized 9 provincial authorities, that is 9 states. Number 1 is Oyo province, which province simply means state. Number 2 is Ibadan province. Number 3, Abeokuta province. Number 4, Lagos province, sometimes called Lagos colony. Number 5, Ijebu province. Number 6, Oyo Ife province. Number 7, Ondo province. Number 8, Benin province. Number 9, Ilorin Kaba province. These were the 9 provincial authorities under the regional government. The next authority after the provincial authorities is the divisional authority, which today we call local government area. There were 22 divisional authorities 22 local governments, so to say, in the entire Yoruba independent nation. These divisions are Oyo Division, Osun Division, Ibadan Division number 3, number 4, Egbado Divisions. And I want young people to know that the name Egbado has since been changed to Yewa by Governor Olusegun Oshola of Ogun State. So number 4, Egbado Division. Egbado is Yewa Division now. Number 5 is Egba Division. Number 6 is Remo Division. Number 7 is Ijebu Division. Number 8 is Ife Division. Number 9 is Ilesha Division. Number 10 is Ekiti Division. Number 11 is Owo Division. Number 12 is Ondo Division. Number 13 is Okitipupa Division. Number 14 is Afemia Divisions. Folks, Afemia Division is where you have Ishekiri and Akoko Edo. In the presentation of Awolowo on the 1st of May 1962, when he moved a motion for the Edo people and Western Ijaw, Urobo, and the rest to be given their own region out of the whole Western region. He specifically stated that the Afemian division, which includes Ishekiri and Akoko Edo, are Yoruba-speaking people. But you know what Zik did? He ensures that the Afemian division was taken away from the Western region and annexed with the East-West region. Now, we've explained that in the past. I'm explaining it again to show the sheer wickedness of the Igbo people and Hausa Fulani people against the interests of the Yoruba nation. Number 15 division was the Benin division. Number 16 division, Delta division. Number 17 is Ekpe division. Number 18, Badagry division. Number 19, Ikorodu division. Number 20, Ikeja division. Number 21, Ilorin division. Number 22, Kaba divisions. These were the divisions. They were like local government today. Now you will see Lagos mainland is not part of this division because it was the federal capital territory. Sometimes when you hear from the Igbo, they tell you with their bogus propaganda that Lagos was the federal capital. That was why it was developed. No, Lagos as a whole was never the federal capital territory of Nigeria. Only Victoria Island or Lagos mainland, Lagos Island was the federal capital territory. So that was why this wasn't captured in the 22 divisional authority under the regional government, because Lagos was still the federal capital territory. It was because of the ridiculous assertion of the Igbo first in 1945 that says that Lagos is no man's land. That was why Awolowo and his lieutenant advocated for the removal of Victoria Island as the capital of Nigeria. So the Igbo felt that for that movement to go to Abuja, that Yoruba will be losing something. They don't know that we have deep thinking. Because if Lagos had remained the federal capital of Nigeria, what the attitude of the Igbo and Fulani today would have been far worse. But we're very grateful to the ingenuity of Awolowo and our grandparents to have moved the federal capital of Nigeria out of Victoria Island to Abuja. Today, we hope that the Igbo can go and claim that Abuja is no man's land and to wait for what the Gbagi people will do to them. So these were the 22 divisions that we had under the regional governments, and more importantly, under the independent Yoruba nation before the criminally minded Igbo destroyed our civilization. Our generation is now trying to defend that civilization that has been destroyed. First, to take it out of Nigeria and try to make it great again. And our objective is to put a full-blooded Yoruba citizen as the president of Nigeria, in the person of Tinubu, who will now devolve power to the regions. And the moment we have a devolution of power to the regions, so all the Yoruba speaking states that have now scattered into 10 different states with no prime minister coordinating their activities, with nobody running their activities of Yoruba nation as a whole, with no function and responsibility for our head of state, the Oni of Ife, with no function and responsibility for our president, Alaafin of Oyo, supported by the 87 other others. Tinubu will help us to bring this back. So that's why it's extremely important that we prepare for war. If you want peace, you must prepare for war. We must get weapons. Don't joke with my statement. Fulani are already talking to the Chinese to help them develop chemical weapons to attack you. Learn from what they did to 2 generations before us. Learn from what the irresponsible English did to our ancestors when they attacked us in 1851. If you don't have a weapon, those who have a weapon will always suppress and subjugate you. Guns are very important. It is to safeguard your children's future, to defend your civilization. The next authority after the divisional authority is the district authority, which is akin to the wards today, local councillor wards. Those councillors that you see across Yoruba land, they are representing wards. So the district authorities are today's ward. There were over 40 districts. The next authority after the district authority is the native authorities, where you have the Baales of Iberiko. There were over 200 native authority captured under the regional government. You can see the beauty of our constitution. Our constitution divided Yoruba land into 5 administrative authorities, which our electoral commission calls political boundaries of Yoruba land. The first one was the regional authority. The second one was the provincial authority, which we call state. The third one was the divisional authority, which we now call local government. The fourth one was the district authority, which we call wards. And the last one, the native authority. Now, to the Yoruba politicians, whether you are conservative in the Yoruba APC or the Liberal in the Yoruba PDP, that you are always scared that if we go back to regional government, there will not be states anymore. Under regional government, we had states. They were not just called states, they were called provinces. Under regional government, we had local government. They were not called local government, they were called divisions. Under regional government, we had wards. They were not called wards, they were called districts. Under regional government, we had native authorities. Our Baales are no longer doing anything. They had very important role to play in the development of Yoruba land. All of this has been destroyed. So you will now see from what I have stated that the Yoruba as an independent nation had 5 political boundaries as of 1951, which I have listed for you. All of these 5 political boundaries were destroyed by the Igbo in 1966. It is not the amalgamation of 1914 that destroyed Nigeria or that is causing trouble. That amalgamation is long out of its depth. The legislation that brought that amalgamation was repealed in 1952 by this constitution that I'm reading to you. So that is no longer or existing. Like constitutional lawyer will say to you, the amalgamation is done and dusted. It is over with. The only thing that is standing now is the Constitution of Western Nigeria, which is the Constitution of the Yoruba nation. The Igbo destroyed that. We cannot be enslaved by the English and then be enslaved by the Igbo and then be enslaved by the Fulani. Are we that weak? people? No, we fought several wars. Igbo only fought one single war in their life, Biafra, and they lost it. We've never lost a war. The only war that the Hausa Fulani fought and won was the war against the Hausa people. All other wars, they have lost them. The English fought the Yoruba nation 4 times. They fought the Hausa Fulani nation once and they defeated them. They cut off the head of the Sultan of Sokoto, the English, and put it in a stick and paraded the head across the entire length and breadth of Hausa land to say to the Hausa Fulani that we have cut the head of your leader. If you do not bow down for us, we will destroy you. That was not the case with the Yoruba nation. We fought the English in 1851, 1855, 1892, and 1901. They signed treaty with us. They never defeated us. So we cannot allow people like Igbo, who have always lost the war, people like Fulani, to now suppress our generation. No, we must go to war with these people. And we will go to war. We have already chosen the weapon. Chemical and biological weapon is the weapon that we're going to use for this war. We know the theater of war. Lagos is the battleground. And we are already building allies with the United States of America, with Brazil, with the good people of Israel, with Portugal, with France and Germany. We need France and Germany because of the irresponsible action of the English, so that we can bring in Germans' businesses into Yoruba land, French businesses into Yoruba land. We need to trade with these people so that they can support us when the irresponsible English continue to undermine our interests. We can't hate people because of the color of their skin. We are not in any relationship with the irresponsible English because they are the people that are making the Yoruba to scatter all over the world as like slaves, because they are supporting Fulani to ruin our life. So folks, if we allow the English to suppress us for 100 years, then the English, the Igbo came and did the same thing. The Fulani came and did the same thing. So is this how we're going to allow foreigners to overrun our space, to take over our resources, our wealth and taxes, and there will be no generation that will do anything? Learn from the Chinese. 3 generations fought against the English and were defeated. But they were not giving up. It was the 4th generation that confronted the English without firing one single shot. They simply stated to Margaret Thatcher in 1982 that you give up or come or we'll go to war with you. And they give them an ultimatum. If you don't give up or come within the next 24 hours, we will overrun Hong Kong and take it by force. The English gave up Hong Kong. The records are there. If we want back the constitution of Western Nigeria, if we want back regional government, if we want Oduduwa Republic, our son Tinubu must take the presidency of Nigeria from 2023. He will give ultimatum to the Igbo and to the Fulani. Don't say that, oh, you have to keep your secret. The Chinese are not keeping their secrets. When the English want to destroy you, they don't keep it a secret. They tell you to your face that we're coming to destroy you. Americans will not hide anything. Look at what Obama said and Joe Biden saying that they would chase ISIS to the gate of hell. And they carried out that threat. President Trump came and said the same thing, that he's going to hang these people, he's going to destroy them. He did that. So don't fall for the Yoruba leaders who want you not to be informed, telling us that we should keep secret from our children who are going to defend our civilization. No. We're saying to the Igbo and Fulani, we're taking the presidency of Nigeria from 2023. If you try to stop us, there will be war. And the weapon of choice is chemical and biological weapon. And the theater of war is Lagos. We're going to destroy all the infrastructures in Lagos. And I said to you, every public servant in our Western Fulani land and Igbo land draw their income from the wealth of the Yoruba nation. So I'm talking about their governors, their deputy governors, their politicians, all of them elected and appointed. their emirs, their sultan, the same thing the Igbo, their Obi, their Igwe, every public servant in Igbo land and Hausa Fulani land, they are getting paid with the money generated from Yoruba land. If we shut down Lagos, their public service is gone. So we're telling them we're going to behave like civilized people. This is what we're going to do, and we will do it, because we must get back Yoruba land working. Without doing this, our children's future will be worse than what we are currently facing. Already Yoruba are now going to Middle East. If we lose the chance in 2023, believe you me, we're going to be trooping to Kenya, Zimbabwe, and other African countries to hate for a living, because Igbo and Fulani will have completely overrun our space. They want to take Lagos from us. We're going to destroy Lagos. It is our weapon for Oduduwa Republic to rise. So the Igbo nation, a minority people with nothing in common with the Yoruba nation, they use organized violence, assassinated the Yoruba leaders, and suspended our constitution with Decree 34 and made Nigeria a republic. Nigeria was never a republic. Nigeria was a federation. If you look at the first paragraph of the amended Constitution of Nigeria in 1963, it says this country is a federation of 4 regions, namely Northern region, Eastern region, Western region, and Midwestern region. Before that amendment of the 1963 Constitution, if you look at the Constitution of 1959, which became operational on the 1st of October 1960, it says that this country is a federation of 3 regions, namely Northern region, Eastern region, and Western region. Nigeria was never a republic. Igbo made Nigeria a republic. They will never rule that country again. There will be war. Igbo destroy our life. They destroy our civilization as a people. The Constitution of Nigeria that was agreed upon in 1959 made a special provision that the 3 regions, the Hausa Fulani Northern region, the Yoruba Western region, and the Igbo Eastern region, be further divided from 3 to 10 regions. Hausa Fulani and the Igbo refused, and they decided to put Awolowo in prison and jail him for 10 years because he was fighting for the interest of the minority people in Nigeria who wanted their own region. We were never to be 36 states. Igbo created the 36 states. They made Nigeria a republic. My generation will go to war to get Yoruba out of Nigeria. We've shown you the Decree 34 that created the 36 states. In 1966, the Igbo also introduced the unitary system, essentially to grab Yoruba land. At this point, let me say clearly, the actions of the Igbo, there's nothing bad in it. It is purely self-preservation. They wanted to control the Yoruba crude oil. They wanted to control the Yoruba waterways, and they devised a means to get that. Take to organized violence, get the military, they control the military, get the guns, kill the Yoruba leaders, and then declare themselves as the leader of Nigeria, suspended the regional government so that they can control our crude oil and our waterways. The generation of the Yoruba, they ran to Ghana in 1966. The Ghanaian people chased them out of Ghana in 1969. Look at how foolish they were. But Hausa Fulani, they were not pleased with what the Igbo had done. They organized themselves into a force, took to organized violence, get guns, and kill the Igbo as a revenge attack. And since then, 1966 July, they have refused to give up power. You don't blame Hausa Fulani too. Their action is self-preservation. The Igbo wanted to control Yoruba crude oil and waterways. They did it perfectly well by killing Yoruba leaders. The youth of 1966, they ran away to Ghana. What happened? The Hausa Fulani grouped themselves together and killed the Igbo, took the power. It is to their own advantage. Our generation must adopt the use of organized violence, use of chemical weapons to take back what belonged to us from the Fulani. Fulani are currently holding on to the control of our waterways. Fulani are currently holding on to the control of our crude oil. Fulani are currently holding on to the control of our immigration, to the control of everything in Yoruba land. It is not going to be taken away from Fulani by speaking. It is by using chemical and biological weapons. Fulani are already one step ahead of you. They have enlisted the support of the Chinese to develop chemical weapons for them. They would deploy it against you. But we can easily defeat them. We've been claiming to be the most educated out of Africa. Really? If truly the Yoruba nation is the most educated out of Africa, what stopped you from developing chemical and biological weapons to attack Fulani and Igbo in Yoruba land and take back your space? It is your legitimate space. Why will you go to England and be praying to Jesus not to be deported? Why will you go to England and be praying to Jesus to buy away Bill? It is because this place is not your homeland. That's why you have to pray to Jesus Christ to get a stay in England. That's why you have to pray to Jesus Christ not to be deported from England. You will never pray to Jesus Christ to get a stay in Yoruba land because that is your homeland. You will never pray to Jesus Christ not to be deported from Yoruba land because that is your homeland. So if you are doing this to pray to Jesus Christ abroad in order to stay in a foreign land, how much more harming yourself to take back your space, to take back the control of your homeland from foreigners who are Igbo and Fulani? And stupid people, they will say to us, don't talk about chemical weapon. Idiot, I live in England, I face discrimination. I want to live in Yoruba land. I'm well educated. So I shouldn't talk about chemical weapon. I should work toilet for English. I should work as security guard for them with my master's degree, right? And live a miserable life and die a miserable death. That's what you want for me? That's what you want for intelligent, smart Yoruba citizen? All wasting away abroad? Whatever makes the Igbo to organize themselves into a group and kill Yoruba leader, adopt organized violence, suspended our constitution, we're going to do the same thing. We will. The battleground is 2023. We are taking the presidency of Nigeria. There is no second option. The Hausa Fulani can play all the games. They can play all the cards. We know it is the English that are thinking for them. We will defeat you in 2023. Lagos is the battleground. What happened in Lebanon port will happen to the port in Lagos. It will be destroyed by Yoruba citizens. It is ours. Our port generates 10 trillion naira every year. 10 trillion. If we reinvest 10 trillion naira into the Yoruba economy, I will not be wasting away in England facing stupid arrests from their stupid police 8 times of my life. If we control our wealth. So the option is no second alternative. We are taking the presidency from 2023 and we will devolve power back to the regions. The Igbo created the Nigeria of today. The Nigeria of today is corrupt. It is not working. It's a disorganized system. It's a failed state. Igbo made it so. It is not the 1914 amalgamation. The stupid and ridiculously illiterate Yoruba liberals need to get sense. Igbo destroy Nigeria. Tell all the Igbo that are shouting for Biafra, let us go back to regional government. They will reject it. The stupid Hausa Fulani think that we are going to go back to regional government of 3 regions. No, no. We're going to go back to regional government of the maximum 15 regions. Not this 36 state system. minimum of 10 regions, because the agreement we had in the Constitution of 1959, there was a proviso that the 3 regions be divided into 10. The whole northern region be divided into a Hausa Fulani region, Kanuri region, Western Middle Belt, Central Middle Belt, and Eastern Middle Belt, making 5. The whole Western region be divided into Western region and Midwest, making 7. The whole Eastern region be divided into Igbo region, Efik Ibibio region, and Ijaw region, making 10. That was the agreement. And for each region to control their own space, control their own military, control their own police, control everything. The Hausa Fulani that are telling you we cannot go back to that system because it is not possible to return to 3 regions. You are horrible. You are hopeless. You speak with the irresponsible support of the English. That's why you have the boldness to speak. I speak with the support of the CIA. That's why we're going to defeat English. The same way the English were defeated in America, they shall be defeated in Yoruba land. We're going to divide Nigeria into 10 regions or maximum of 15 regions. The 15 regions was recommended by Anthony Enahoro and Professor Wole Soyinka. The 10 region was what we agreed in 1959. But the greediness of the Igbo and the Fulani, they refused to allow the 3 regions to be divided into 10 because they want to control other people. Today, you will see an irresponsible Fulani leader saying Northerners. It's the same appellation the Igbo used, call everybody Southerners, because they want to suppress and subjugate minority in the North and in the South. But we're going to shame you. We will get that presidency. We will get the support of the United States of America. We Yoruba will get the support of Israel. Israel helped us to build every civilization we hold dear in Yoruba and under regional government. They built Liberty Stadium. They built our television station, the first in Africa. They built our farm settlement. They built the first dualized road in Yoruba land and Africa for us. We have always had good working partnership and relationship with the good people of Israel. We support the state of Israel. We will rekindle that relationship because we need these people to help us to defeat these animals called Igbo and Fulani who destroy Nigeria. So Nigeria of today is the creation of the Igbo, disorganized, corrupt, hopeless, a failed state. Igbo brought this upon us, and that is why they will never, ever be president of Nigeria. We conceive Naira, never allow Igbo rule again. You will never rule. You will rule yourself in Igbo land. You are going to face the hell in Yoruba land. That's why we say Lagos is your burial ground. The Yoruba nation, having no guns, appealed to the Igbo and the Fulani to ensure a return to regional government in 1967. The minute the Igbo suspended the regional government in January 1966, they took over the government of Nigeria. Fulani came with force, killed the Igbo, and took the government in July 1966. In May 1967, the Yoruba have monitored everything that the Igbo and Fulani have done, and they spoke through our leader, Bafemi Awolowo. The Yoruba had no guns then. We had no weapon. Because before the Igbo suspended regional government, they have planned it 10 years ahead. That was why they populated themselves into the military. So they were the top guns in the military. So they used the military to get their desire. The Hausa Fulani too had innate desire to rule everybody in Nigeria. They put their own people in the military. The Yoruba were not so keen about going into the military because the Yoruba never had the innate desire to suppress and subjugate anybody. We just want to develop our space. But the Igbo and Fulani, because they lack crude oil, they lack waterways, they have that innate desire to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. That's why they populated themselves into the military. When the Yoruba woke up to their evil mind, to the evil plans of the Igbo and Fulani with no weapon, in 1967, we appealed to these people, Igbo and Fulani, to allow a return to regional government and to allow Nigeria as a federation of 10 regions. The Yoruba spoke to our leaders, Obafemi Awolowo. It was that time that Awolowo was made the leader of the Yoruba nation. Prior to that, he was never the leader of the Yoruba nation. It was because of the war that he was made the leader of the Yoruba nation. We pleaded with the Igbo and the Fulani because they controlled the leveler of power, guns. They didn't listen to us. Since then, the Igbo and the Fulani have both refused to return Nigeria back as a federation under a parliamentary system based on regional government. I say this to you folks. Whoever controls the gun dictates your life. If you do not have guns, you do not have chemical weapon, believe you me, Yoruba nation will never be free. If you have chemical and biological weapon, Igbo will not speak nonsense that they speak. They said that Edo no be Lagos. In that Lagos, we are going to destroy every Igbo market there. I'm challenging you, go to English police and report me to them. They will explain why they discriminate against me in their own country, while I should keep quiet for my land to be taken away from me. They will explain. We will challenge them that we want to take away their land and take Yoruba who lives in the deprived community in England. We want to take them to the best place. Keep the irresponsible English police that are arresting me who ever allow that to happen to them in their country. So you tell me, why should we allow Igbo and Fulani to take over Yoruba land from us, from our children? Because they control the guns. They didn't listen to us. Since the suspension of the Constitution of Western Nigeria, the Fulani have taken total control of the Nigerian states with the backing of the English establishment. As a matter of fact, English are still enslaving you in Yoruba. They are enslaving you. The Fulani, through organized violence, they control the states. They control the police. They control the armed forces. They control the judiciary. They control the prison. They control the National Assembly and all the political parties in Nigeria. They control the intelligence services. They control the senior civil service. They control border control. They control the church. They control the mosque. They control the traditional leaders. And they control the monarchy, the kings. They control everything. How? How? It is through the control of the guns. If you don't control the guns, you have no guns, you will be surprised. That is why the Yoruba Libras, you can't protest because you have no guns. You have no guns. You want to protest with placard and take us back to the years of our parent generations. The people will then be shot at will and randomly killed. No. If we conservative ever call out people to go on strike under the leadership of a Fulani president of Nigeria, believe you me, we will deploy chemical weapon that day. That is why, and I speak this with all authority, that's why the Nigerian military couldn't carry out Python dance in Yoruba land, because we said to them that we would deploy chemical and biological weapon on that day. That's why we asked the leaders that we need paper bandages, because that is how you can secure the interests of those who will be attacked by that chemical and biological weapon. We cannot live abroad any longer. We want to come home, and we don't want our land to be overrun by foreigners, Igbo and Fulani. So that's why the Fulani are scared about Tinubu's presidency. Tinubu is a full-blooded Yoruba citizen. It's not half Yoruba, half Igbo, like Obasanjo. It's not half Yoruba, half Fulani, like Tunde Bakare. It's a full-blooded Yoruba citizen. As president of Nigeria, under this unitary system, he will control the police. He will control the armed forces. He will control the judiciary. He will control the prison. He will control the National Assembly and all the political parties in Nigeria. He will control the intelligence services. He will control the senior civil service. He will control all borders in Nigeria. He will control the church, the mosque, and the traditional rulers, as well as our king, and the traditionalists, as well as our king. He will control all of this. This is what is called the state. Fulani don't want a Yoruba full-blooded to control the state, because Tinubu will put Yoruba people in all of this position, not just ordinary Yoruba, ultra-conservative Yoruba citizens will be in all of this position. Igbo don't want that. Fulani don't want that. I'm saying to you, young Yoruba, we need chemical and biological weapon, PPF for war. There is a huge economic consequences on the Yoruba nation since 1966 that the Igbo destroyed our constitution, suspended regional government, introduced Nigeria as a republic, and introduced the unitary system. Huge economic consequences has been on us. Then I'll tell you some of this. Since the suspension of the regional government by the Igbo in 1966, there has been growing poverty across Yoruba land. There is hunger in our space. We lack good health and well-being. There is no longer qualitative education since the Igbo suspended regional government. There is no gender equality any longer. Women are abused at their workplace, sexually abused by their bosses, and they cannot get justice. In churches and mosques, women are abused across Yoruba land since the Igbo suspended regional government. There is no clean water and sanitation any longer in Yoruba anymore. Under regional government, we have pipe-on water, and our sanitation was decent. Remember, Adeyinka but Macaulay, it took the English up to the previous council in the 18th centuries, late 18th centuries, because we pay taxes to build toilets across Yoruba land. The irresponsible English colonial talk stole that taxes to build England. Adeyinka but Macaulay went to court, up to the previous council, asking for the return of our taxes. We have had standard sanitation processes across Yoruba land since the 17th centuries and 18th centuries. But what do we have now? Since the suspension of regional government, we no longer have clean water and sanitation. Since the suspension of regional government by the Igbo in 1966, there is no affordable and clean energy. You don't have electricity. Benin Republic has electricity since 1970. Likewise, Togo. In Zimbabwe, I have a Shona friend. They don't have problem with electricity since the 70s, 60s. That is where Mugabe is from. But we don't have this problem too until the Igbo suspended the regional government. So there is no affordable and clean energy. Do you know the number of vehicles in Lagos? Lagos State has more than half of the total numbers of vehicles in Nigeria. You know the CO2 emission, our air is not clean. Everybody is just trooping into Lagos. That is why the economic unit in London says that Lagos is the worst city on planet Earth to live because of the influx of the Igbo since the suspension of regional government. There is no longer decent work and economic growth in Yoruba land any longer. That's why someone like me with master's degree, I started my PhD at the age of 27, but I didn't complete it. I've written 4 books. I'm writing my 5th book, which has been 6 by the idiot police who came to my house last year. That's why I have to waste away in England. Because there is no decent work any longer in Yoruba land. There's no economic growth. All the decent job in Yoruba land has been taken by the Hausa Fulani and the Igbo under this unitary system. Since the Igbo suspended regional government, there is no industry, innovation, or infrastructure. Look at the state of our roads. We're still using 3G technology. when people are already using 5G. We construct road, but we cannot cover our drainages. In Lagota, when we should have underground drainages, and Gota Tonla, tí wọ́n cover, there is no infrastructure. Look at the state of our school. All the companies in Yoruba land pay 2% of their education, pay 2% of their profit as education tax. Look at the way our buildings are. Look at the way the schools are built in Yoruba land. Every company in Yoruba land pays 1% of their profit as information technology tax. There's no free internet in any of our schools. People cannot access knowledge. When police arrested me, they told me people watch my video more in South Africa than in Yoruba land because people have access to no internet. So there's no longer infrastructure. There's no innovation any longer. Everybody is just trooping into our face, our space, uncontrollable. Igbo have turned Yoruba land into the dumping ground of the world. They go to China, they go and bring second-hand clothing. So they kill and destroy the textile industry. They go abroad to go and bring fake drugs. So they destroy our pharmaceutical industries in Yoruba land. They turn Yoruba land into the dumping ground of the world. Nothing has been done since the suspension of regional government. They use this suspension to destroy us. Igbo destroy Nigeria. They will never rule. There is going to be war with the awareness the young Yoruba for freedom has created. There is reduced inequality. The 774 local government that we have in Nigeria were created by the Hausa Fulani. The Yoruba state were created for us by Hausa Fulani. They now wrote a useless constitution, the most useless constitution on this planet Earth. How can you write a constitution and says under public revenue, section 162, subsection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that you will collect money from Yoruba land, move it to Abuja, collect money from Igbo land, move it to Abuja, collect money from Hausa Fulani land, move it to Abuja, collect money from Kanuri land, we move it to Abuja, collect money from the Middle Belt to take it to Abuja, collect money from the South, you take it to Abuja, and then you now share back this money to where you have collected them according to number of state, number of local government, land mass, population, density. Is that not inequality? The Yoruba nation that contributed 49% of the revenue will get next to nothing. The Hausa Fulani that contributes 2.5% will get over 30% of the revenue after it has been shared. Is that not inequality? The Igbo that contributed 1.5% will get about 5% after that money has been shared. This is what we are faced with. Igbo destroy us as Yoruba people. Our number one enemy is the Igbo nation. That we have allowed these people to mass migrate into our space is ridiculous, but we will stop that. It is only war that will stop this. Believe you me. In 2023, if they refuse us to take the control of the presidency, we would deploy chemical and biological weapons. We can't allow these people to overrun our space. They use organized violence to destroy our constitution. We're going to use chemical and biological weapons to destroy them. There is no longer sustainable cities and communities in Yoruba land since the Igbo suspended regional government. Everybody is shouting Fulani experts are coming into our space. It is because the Igbo suspended regional government. 6.7 million Igbo come into Yoruba land every year. It is because they suspended regional government. So our cities are no longer sustainable. Armed robbery, kidnapping, vandalism, adulterated drug prostitution, baby factory, organized crime, selling of drug trafficking. Our children are now being spoon-fed with drugs. Prostitution is growing, destroying the Yoruba nation because Igbo suspended regional government. So our cities and community are no longer sustainable. There is nowhere you go in Yoruba land that you will not see Igbo people, more than 20% of the population. There is nowhere you go to in Yoruba land that you will not hear the problem of Hausa Fulani headsmen. Yet we don't go into their space. There are some areas in Igbo land that no Yoruba soul has been there. Likewise in the north, we don't go there. They are coming into our space because they suspended regional government. Our cities and communities are no longer sustainable because of the influx of foreigners. The English opted out of the EU because of unregulated mass migration of people into their country. There is no longer responsible consumption and productions of goods. We're not eating good food. We're not living in good homes. Our roads are an eyesore. Our schools are nothing to write home about. Our offices is horrible. We don't have AC in our homes in Yoruba land yet. We have to deal with this scorching sun. We can tackle climate action. Over 25,000 commercial planes traveled through Lagos International Airport. Don't call it Muritala Mohammed. 25,000. The Yoruba that are living in Ikeja environment. They are facing lung problem, kidney problem. They have to deal with cancer. Half of the vehicles in Nigeria are based in Lagos. More than 80% of the vehicles in Nigeria are in Yoruba land. We can't take actions, climate action, to reduce the CO2 emission, which is killing our people, because we can no longer control our taxes. We ought to have been using our taxes to encourage people to drive electric cars and do away with petrol and gas. We cannot tackle climate action because Igbo suspended regional government, and these guys are now stealing our wealth to fund growth and economic development in their own space. We cannot address life below waters. Look at the state of our oceans. People are coming all over the world to overfish in our waterways in Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, and Ishekiri land. We can't deal with this situation because we no longer have our constitution. We no longer control our space. Life below water, we can't deal with it. Our oceans are very dirty. Life on land, we cannot still deal with it. There are some animals that need to be preserved, but people are killing these animals. Hausa Fulani are all over in our forests, killing our reserved animals. So life on water, we can preserve it. Life on land, we cannot preserve it. There is no peace, justice. There is no strong institution. So many women are abused in their workplaces. There's no strong institution that can deal with this situation. So many women are being raped in churches by their pastors, in mosques by imam. We have no strong institution to deal with this situation because we run unitary system in a multicultural country. You can't take police to court because we don't have strong institution. During the corona outbreak in April, that they locked down everywhere, I was very depressed. I did not understand what was happening to my children. My son had an underlying medical problem because that was why we stayed in England. I can't speak to them. I can't see them. I was so depressed. I took up my computer and filed an action against the police. I reported the police to the Police Complaints Commission. And I said to them that how can they arrest me 8 times, knowing fully well that it was my ex-wife that was behind all of this single allegation because of child custody. Because I now found out that she's labeled my son as disabled and she's collecting benefit from government. which I disagree with, because my son is not disabled. I wrote to the Police Complaints Commission, and I damned the police for their actions against me, that I can't even see my kids. I don't even know how they are coping with the coronavirus. And the Police Complaint Commission passed my complaint to the appropriate authority. Police came, had a series of sections with me, and they concluded, they opened up that it was my ex-wife who reported me for terrorism. And this is one of the evidence that I'm using in court now. We don't have strong institution in Yoruba land because the Igbo suspended regional government. There's a lot of extrajudicial killing. My late elder brother was shot and killed by the police in Ibadan, Yoruba land, the capital of Yoruba land. He was killed by 2 Hausa Fulani and 1 Igbo. We have yet to get justice. One of his child is over 18 years old now. He died in 2006. No strong institution any longer in Yoruba land. You can't take the government to court. You will be assassinated. You can't speak against the government. You will be assassinated. You can't caution government for their irresponsible action. There is no peace and justice because the irresponsible, criminally minded Igbo suspended regional government and destroyed everything. And lastly, we cannot have partnership with any countries anymore to achieve our goals as Yoruba people. We have no relationship with Brazil. We have no relationship with Cuba. We have no relationship with Puerto Rico. We have no relationship with Trinidad and Tobago. We have no relationship even with Benin Republic, Togo, Ivory Coast, Ghana, where you have ample number of Yoruba people. We cannot be friends with Israel anymore. We cannot have special relationship with the people of Portugal because Igbo suspended regional government. We can't build partnership with other nations to achieve our goals. But under regional government, every of our development has the signature of the people of Israel. You name it, our farm settlement. It was the Israeli people who helped us to achieve food sustainability. We were building infrastructures across Yoruba land with the partnership with Israel, with America, with Russia, with Portugal, with Brazil. When we went to war 4 times with the irresponsible English, we were getting partnership with the people of Portugal who were selling us weapons and the good people of Brazil. But since the Igbo suspended regional government, we can't partner with any other nation. We cannot as Yoruba people. These are the 17 sustainable development goals of the Yoruba nation that we can no longer meet because the Igbo suspended regional government. These are the huge economic consequences of this suspension of our constitution. The issue of class powers remains unresolved in Nigeria because of the suspension of the regional system of government and the constitution of the Yoruba nation. The Igbo nation wants the continuation of the unitary system and as such support the Fulani to control the presidency of Nigeria so that Fulani can help the Igbo to keep the unitary system. This is class power. The Fulani nation, a minority nation in Nigeria, wants to retain the presidency of Nigeria. The Fulani wants to retain the control of the presidency of Nigeria as well as the unitary system. Hence, it enlisted the military support of the English to keep the presidency of Nigeria. The Yoruba nation wants a return to the regional government in order for them to be able to be in the driver's seat of their own development, growth, and sustainability. Look at these three people. They have different desire. It is to the eternal advantage of the Igbo for Nigeria to remain a unitary state, controlled by one man at the center, called president. It is the same desire of the Fulani. They want the unity system in addition to being the people who will control the presidency of Nigeria. The only thing that the Yoruba nation desires is a return to regional government. They want to control the resources, the wealth, and the taxes paid within their own space. This is called class power. There will be war in that country because we do not desire the same thing. The issue of class power will remain unresolved. That is why every young Yoruba from age 16 must develop chemical and biological weapons to defend Yoruba civilization. War is coming. Yoruba is being suppressed and subjugated. To make matter worse for the Yoruba nation, intermarriage is destroying the fabric of our society. The half Igbo and half Yoruba on one hand, and the half Fulani and half Yoruba on the other hand, are reluctant to engage with the improvement or the implication of acting against the collective interest of the Yoruba nation. By default, because of their station in life, half Yoruba citizens are worse than Igbo and Fulani. Half Yoruba citizens have contributed in no small measure to the destruction of Awolowo, to the killing of Abiola. Half Yoruba citizens are the people that are the most vocal against Tinubu. A half Yoruba citizen reported the vice president of the Young Yoruba for Freedom in America. He reported him to the FBI, alleging that he's a terrorist simply because his father is Yoruba and his mother is Igbo, and he doesn't like the fact that full-blooded Yoruba want to take over the control of Yoruba land. For that, he reported our vice president to the FBI in the United States. By default, the half Yoruba gives consent to the subjugation of the Yoruba nation. That is why after this campaign, there will be another campaign called Pure Blood, in order to encourage and impress it on the PDP and other Yoruba that only full-blooded Yoruba citizens must take political positions across Yoruba land, because we have had enough of the irresponsible action of the half Yoruba who are destroying the fabric of our society. The option of organized violence on the part of the pure-blooded Yoruba citizens remain the most viable option to defend the glory of the Yoruba nation. The Igbo and the Fulani have been adamant about the need to return Nigeria back to a federation of regions as federating unit. They have objected to the devolution of power back to the region. They have objected to the decentralization of the police, the armed forces, the judiciary, the intelligence services, and the public service. The Igbo and the Fulani have objected to the Yoruba control of the presidency of Nigeria. That is why they are out to disparage and discredit the person and personality of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Igbo and the Hausa Fulani have also objected to the peaceful dissolution of Nigeria. They have objected to a new constitution for Nigeria with a provision for a secession clause. And finally, they have objected to the use of fingerprinting technology to conduct census in Nigeria. They are preparing for war. We have chosen the weapon of war already, which is chemical and biological weapon. We have chosen the theater of war, which is Lagos, the battleground, and we have already identified our allies, led by the good people of the United States, the people of Israel, Brazil, Portugal, and others. Hausa Fulani and the Igbo want the continuation of the unity system in which the wealth, resources, and taxes paid in Yoruba land are used to fund the economic growth and development of their respective region. They are planning to go to war as well as to continue to kill the Yoruba leaders and people like they have done always since the 60s. It follows that the young Yoruba for freedom, YYF, is leading the other young Yoruba people, particularly the conservative wings, to embrace organized violence with the use of chemical and biological weapons. We have decided the weapon for the expected war, the theater of war, and our allies. There are plans on the way to undermine the prospect of Tinubu as the president of Nigeria from 2023. The Fulani and the Igbo know that Tinubu supports decentralized democracy, in which he will devolve power back to the federating region. The Hausa Fulani and Igbo know that Tinubu will end the system of monthly allocation, security votes, and constituency allowance. They know that Tinubu will give us a new constitution with a cessation clause. The Igbo and the Fulani know so well that Tinubu is pro-Yoruba first and foremost. They know that Tinubu has the state of mind, the wealth with her to break up Nigeria along its natural boundary. They want to handle his life the way they did to Abiola and Awolowo. We are the generation that will stop them and change the course of history. There has never been zoning in Nigeria to those who have been erroneously misleading us. We have had 11 federal elections between 1959 and 2019. There has never been zoning in Nigeria. We do not believe in zoning as a movement. The Yoruba conservatives do not support zoning. We believe one thing and one thing alone. The presidency of Nigeria must be under the command and control of the Yoruba people only. Only Yoruba must produce the president of Nigeria henceforth. It is the same thing that is going on in America. It is the same thing that is obtainable in the United Kingdom. People that have the majority and the economic backbone are the people who preside over the affair of a nation. We had the first federal election in 1959. It was called parliamentary election. Awolowo represented the Yoruba nation, Zik represented the Igbo nation, Balewa represented the Hausa Fulani nation. There was no zoning. The second election happened in December 1964 and March 1965. You will be confused. How can a general election take place twice, December 1964 and March 1965? Because the elections were conducted in regions. The Yoruba nation boycotted that election. That election, Zik represented the Igbo, Balewa represented the Hausa Fulani. Yoruba did not participate. There was no zoning. In 1979, It was not parliamentary election, but presidential election. 3 candidates contested for that election, 3 major candidates. Awolowo contested as a Yoruba citizen, Shagari contested as an Hausa Fulani, Zik contested as Igbo, and another one, Aminu Kano, who was a Hausa man. They contested the 1979 election. That was the 3rd federal election without zoning. The 4th federal election in Nigeria without zoning is the election of 1983. Awolowo contested the election as Yoruba, Shagari contested that election as Fulani, and Zik contested and participated in that election representing Igbo. The 5th general election we've had in Nigeria without zoning is the 1993 presidential election, in which Abiola contested as a Yoruba citizen and Tofa contested as a Fulani citizen. The 6th general election that we have had in Nigeria without zoning is the election of 1999 presidential election, in which Olufala, a Yoruba citizen, participated at that election. Obasanjo, who is an Igbo citizen, participated at that election, and Sarah Jubri, a Nope woman, also participated at that election. The 7th general election we have had without zoning is the election of 2003, in which Obasanjo, an Igbo, participated at that election, and Buhari, a Fulani, participated at that election. This 8th election that we have had in Nigeria without zoning is the election of 2007 Nigeria presidential election, in which 2 Fulani participated at that election. Umaru Yaradua, a Fulani man, participated at that election. Buhari, Fulani, participated in that election. And Adebayo Adefarati, a Yoruba citizen, participated in that election. There's something happened before the election. Adefarati died. It was very old. He died. What was expected was that the election ought to have been postponed. But because Obasanjo conducted that election as an Igbo citizen, he had no sympathy for the Yoruba nation. He has no principle or respect for the rule of law. In an election, when a candidate died, you should postpone the election and allow the party to produce another candidate. So that was the 8th general election we've had in Nigeria without zoning. The 9th general elections we've had in Nigeria without zoning was the election of 2011 presidential election, in which Jonathan and Ijo participated in that election. Buhari, Fulani, also participated. Ribadu, Fulani, also, they all participated in that election. I hope you are noticing a pattern of Fulani always participating in the election. I hope you can notice in 2007, 2 Fulani participated in that election, Umaru Yaradua, Fulani, and Buhari, Fulani. Again, in 2011, 2 Fulani participated in that election, Buhari and Ribadu. These Fulani are minority. They are not majority like Yoruba. It is like African America only participating in election in America, minority people. It is like Northern Irish, minority people participating in the election in United Kingdom without the English majority. You know how ridiculous that will stand. But in Nigeria, we give room for horrible things to happen to us as a people. We allow minority Fulani to always participate in election. People who are minority, who contributed nothing in terms of revenue to Nigeria, and yet they are the one presiding over the affair of that nation. In 2015, there was no zoning in the presidential election. Jonathan Ijo participated at that election. Buhari Fulani participated at that election. And Adebayo Ayeni, a Yoruba, also participated at that election. That was the 10th election in Nigeria without zoning. The 11th election in Nigeria without zoning was that of 2019, in which Buhari participated, Fulani, Atiku participated at that election, and Felix Nicholas and Igbo all participated at that election in 2019. So these are the 11 federal elections that we have had in Nigeria. It is shocking to know that at every given election from 1959, Fulani are always participating. Minority. 1959, Fulani participated. 1964, Fulani participated. 1979, Fulani participated in that election. 1983, Fulani participated. 1993, Fulani participated. 1999, Fulani were not on that ballot. 1999, that was the exception. 2003, Fulani participated. 2007, Fulani participated. 2011, Fulani participated. 2015, Fulani participated. 2019, Fulani participated. Minority Fulani are always participating in every federal election to elect the leader of Nigeria. Minority. Fulani are not up to 4% of the population of Nigeria. Yoruba is more than 25% of the population of Nigeria. You cannot imagine African America only participating in every election to elect the president of Nigeria without the white Americans who are the majority participating at that election. You will know how ridiculous that will be. But what is the boldness of the Fulani to always participate at every election in Nigeria? It is the English. So you Yoruba liberals that are in London, going onto the street in London, telling English to give you a Oduduwa Republic, you are horrible. English are actually stealing your wealth through the support of the minority Fulani. It is what is called neo-colonialism. Neo simply means new. It's a new form of colonialism. Fulani always participating in every election. It's a shame to the Yoruba who does not believe in organized violence. It's a shame to every Yoruba liberals who do not subscribe to the use of guns. And it's eternal shame to every Yoruba who condemns white people. Anybody with white skin, you condemn them. That's why they don't want us to work with America, idiot. Because you want to allow Fulani to continue to suppress and dominate the Yoruba nation. You have had 11 federal elections. Why is it that the Fulani did not participate in the 1999 election? Because they killed a Yoruba citizen who won that election. So that's why they have boldness, that they can easily kill Tinubu and nothing will happen. Imagine if Tinubu is destroyed. I will continue to live in England where the irresponsible police are arresting me like a common criminal. If you know English very well, they are cunning. The police will not give up on me until they kill me if I continue to live in their country. That is the truth. Police as an institution that can arrest me 8 times on the allegation of my ex-wife. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They put me in handcuff. It's not as if they are coming to my house to smile. They come in multitude. The moment they come into my house, they put me in handcuff, put me behind their van, go and lock me up in cell. They did that 8 times. Twice they remanded me in prison. Prison, not cell. Real prison. You think those people will give up on me? No, I want to fuck up English in Lagos like that too. Arrest them for fun, beat the hell out of them. If we allow Tinubu life to be destroyed, believe you me, I'm fucked. The English will make sure that I go to prison in their country, that I rot in prison in their country. So it is not Tinubu that they want to destroy. It is to destroy the future of our children. It will destroy our own future too. Imagine Northern Irish. They are 3% of the total population of United Kingdom. Imagine them contesting to be Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in every election. That the English, that is the majority, 84%, will not participate in that election. Yoruba don't participate in the election in your Nigeria, yet you are the majority. Yet you are the economic backbone. If we blow up Apapa Wharf, we blow up Tinker Port. Now, just 2, Nigeria is gone. That is where the money is. You, the economic backbone of Nigeria, you don't participate in election. Fulani minority come out with their agbada in every single election, contesting for election. to be president of Nigeria. You majority Yoruba, you don't participate. What is the boldness of Fulani? That is the first thing you should ask yourself. It is the irresponsible English that are supporting the English that are stealing your wealth. The destruction of Tinubu is the destruction of our generation. Make it. Believe it. If Tinubu is destroyed, our generation is gone. I know I will be fucked myself on a personal level. I'll be fucked because this idiot police will make sure they kill me. It's a shame they can't do it now. They can't do that. Is what they will have loved. I've been fighting with them since 2015 when they started arresting me. Serious fighting. They fractured my eye socket, broke my lower limbs. I have to go for physiotherapy to set my leg back. If I continue to stay in their country, they will fucking kill me. That's the truth. There's no joke about that. But if I get to Lagos, I don't have to get to Lagos. We're already telling our home people, they should fucked up English there. They're fucking me up in their country. You think I will not speak up until they kill me? So we have a country in which minority only participated in election. So one, don't fall for the gimmick. There is no zoning in Nigeria. If we get the presidency from 2023, we will not give up that power again. That is the truth. We will not give up the power. This is what we must impress on our children. We Yoruba of this generation, we are the Caucasian of Nigeria. We're thinking like white people. We will rule Igbo, we will rule Fulani, but there is a professor. We're not going to make it compulsory. We will say to them, after Tinubu, there must be Fashola. After Fashola, there must be another Yoruba. If they don't like it, we shake hands and break up Nigeria. No compulsion. But I tell you, do you think Igbo want Nigeria to break? No. Do you think Hausa Fulani want Nigeria to break? No. Now, look at what is going on in America. Look at what is going on in Britain. In America, there are black, there are white, at least. How come President Trump is white, is the president of America? Vice President Pence is also white. How come? Now, because the white are the majority. Now, if you said Tinubu should be president 2023 and Fashola should be vice president, do you think Igbo will accept it? They will not. Do you think Hausa Fulani will accept it? They will not. And these horrible people, these two people, they tell you one Nigeria. If truly there is one Nigeria, what stopped Tinubu from being president of Nigeria and Fashola being vice president? If truly there's one Nigeria, there's nothing like one Nigeria. Come to United Kingdom. If Tinubu, if Boris Johnson should resign today, it is an English who will take over from him. An English. Look at the cabinet of Boris Johnson. It is 90% English. No Scottish, no Welsh, no Northern Irish. They don't do that kind of nonsense. Why is it that they don't do that kind of nonsense? Because Scottish have their own region. They have their own prime minister. Nicola Sturgeon, they call her first minister. The Scottish rule their own space. The Welsh rule their own space. The Northern Irish rule their own space. So they don't compete for the prime ministership of the United Kingdom with the English, because the English are majority. They are majority. In America, the white are the majority. So President Trump, white, Vice President Pence, white. You see, it's acceptable. Why is it difficult to accept Tinubu to be president of Nigeria and Fashola as vice president? Why? Because we are not one. You are just pretending and be shouting one Nigeria. So if we know that we are not one, as human beings, what stops us from breaking up the country? So Fulani, you go on your way. Igbo, you go on your way. Yoruba will go on our way. If we have Oduduwa Republic today, nobody will be bothered if Tinubu is the president and Fashola is the vice president. We just roll with our life. We're not concerned. Some people will bring us stupid argument and say that if you have Oduduwa Republic, Egba and Ijebu will rule over Yoruba and idiot. Fulani and Igbo are ruling over us now. So if Egba and Ijebu should rule over us, what is bad? Look at me. I have 4 Yoruba bloods. 4. Because I have 4 grandparents, 2 grandfathers, 3 grandmothers, 2 grandmothers. The foremost of my grandfather is an Akoko Yoruba. The second one is Remo Yoruba. The foremost of my grandmother is an Ondo Yoruba. The second one is an Ijebu Yoruba. So if I rule in Yoruba land as the prime minister, so is it that the English that I will be listening to destroy Yoruba land when I have blood everywhere? Is it? So there's nothing like one Nigeria. Don't let anybody fool you. Tell the advocate of the irresponsible one Nigeria to allow Tinubu to have Fashola as the vice president. They will reject it. And these people who will reject this, tell them, since you don't like Tinubu and Fashola to be in power, why don't you go on your own? Have your own Igbo republic. Have your own Arewa republic. Let us have Oduduwa republic. Simple. They will say no, because they are stealing your wealth. So it is a shame, a big shame for the Yoruba nation that in 11 federal elections that we have had, minority Fulani who are not even indigenous to Nigeria, they are not from Nigeria. Fulani are from Senegal and Gambia, Futajalon and Futatoro from Senegal and Gambia. They are not indigenous, they are immigrants. Like me being immigrant in England. The shit police that are arresting me, they will never allow me to be prime minister of their country because I'm immigrant. But immigrant Fulani in 11 federal elections, they have participated in 10. Yoruba don't even participate in any, up to 6. We don't. So you can see how we've been reduced to slave. Think in your brain. Only African America participating to elect President of America, and the white majority will just fold their hands. The Yoruba majority, we don't participate in election. So that is why they tell us they are born to rule. It is because behind the English are there with guns. They are not just there, they are there with weapons. So if you talk, they will tell you, we're going to kill you. But our generation is talking. We want to kill them too. So if anybody said, if you speak up, that they will assassinate you, we know these people who are planning to assassinate the Yoruba is the English, is the Fulani and the Igbo. We will assassinate them too. So don't behave like idiot. Don't behave like our parent generation. When your best friend are being killed, you just keep quiet. White Americans will never think like that. Keep quiet for their best mind to be wasted? No. So folks, there is no one Nigeria, because Tinubu and Fashola will never be allowed to be president and vice president of Nigeria. There is no zoning in Nigeria, because in every election, everyone has been allowed to participate. We don't believe in zoning. We're ruling in Nigeria, and we're ruling for the good of our children and then for the good of our region. But it is a shame that minority Fulani participated in 10 federal elections when Yoruba don't do. It's a shame. Igbo calling us one Nigeria. If truly we're one Nigeria, we're giving you a lot of options. Allow Tinubu to select his vice president as Fashola. Look at that combination. President Tinubu, Vice President Fashola. Look at that. It will never happen because we are not one in that country. Those who call us one Nigeria are crazy people. They are stealing the wealth of the Yoruba nation. We will go to war in that country. I can tell you, we're going to go to war. The theater of war is Lagos. So those of you who have built houses in Lagos, this is the time for you to divest your investment. Houses will come crashing, believe you me. And it is a shame that people are selling you properties in Lekki where there is a refinery. Dangote refinery. You will get cancer. You're stupid people. That's illiterate. And houses at 4 million, 100 million, 200 million. Houses there where you are going to get cancer. Houses there should be the cheapest, affordable. They built refinery there. It will destroy your life. They are not even supposed to. Residential area is not supposed to be very prominent in that space. But because we live in an organized society, because regional government has been suspended, people are rushing to go and buy property in Lekki where you are going to have kidney cancer because of the refinery that has been built there. Go and look at the health implication of those who are living in Ikeja and its environment where the airport is. They have Parkinson's disease. They have lung cancer. I have read research about that. Nobody is compensating these people. No one. The Fulani will tell you that Nigeria is not negotiable because they have the backing of the English. Let Tinubu take the presidency and we control everything in Nigeria. They will be the ones shouting that they want Nigeria to break. They will never. I'm telling you, I want to challenge people to go and watch my video in 2014, 2015. I said that Buhari will never allow a full-blooded Yoruba to be president of Nigeria. He would rather have a Fulani or compromised Yoruba from the PDP, the same Obasanjo guy. That's what they would like to give to you. Tinubu would definitely get the APC presidential ticket. If the Yoruba leaders, if they are decent, honest, and true to Yoruba cause, they will ensure that the Yoruba get the ticket of the PDP. We have seen several Fulani contesting election. Several Fulani contesting election. Look at all the election. 2007, two Fulani, Umaru Yaradua from the PDP and Buhari too. 2011, Buhari and Ribadu, two Fulani. 2015, Buhari still contested. 2019, two Fulani, Buhari and Atiku. So if you Yoruba are decent people, Yoruba liberals, I'm talking to you, but you are not decent, get us a full-blooded Yoruba as the candidate of the PDP. So head or tail, a Yoruba will win. But we know you. You are not full-blooded Yoruba. Those of you in PDP. Many of you that are shouting in London, we know the problem you face in London. It's a hell, yeah, for Yoruba people. You live in deprived community, you live in poverty, you don't do good jobs, you are depressed, your life is fucked. Ordinary 1,000 pounds, you are willing to kill and destroy another Yoruba because they know that you are poor and suffering from poverty. So 1,000 pounds, you can sit in front of your computer and turn out any propaganda to destroy Tinubu because you are already poor. The English city that you live in, London, is hell for you. It's a deprived job you do. You do shit job, useless job. If you live in Europe, and your life will be better off than the life you live in England. You are depressed. You have no family, no wives, no husband. Your children are involved in prostitution. Your children are involved in knife crime. Your children are involved in drug trafficking. Yoruba children in London. We have done the research. If there is 10 knife crime attack resulting into death, 4 is likely going to be Yoruba citizen. That is the kind of life your kids are living. You know how the police have been trying to destroy my own children, exposing my children to a number of unbelievable things. It is because we are not English. We know this. There's no pretense about that. And you will do the same thing to them in our own space. So the Fulani, they are desperate. They are desperate to retain the unity system. The Igbo, they are desperate for the continuation of the unity system. So there will be war. The Yoruba, as president of Nigeria, it will bring devolution of power. The Igbo must learn to stay in Igbo land. The Hausa Fulani must learn to stay in their regions. You can't control the ports. You call it Nigerian Port Authority, right? Something that belongs to Yoruba. You give it a Nigerian name, Nigeria Port Authority, Nigerian Airport Authority. You are all crazy, Fulani. Nigeria Customs Service, something that belongs to Yoruba. No. Under devolution, what you call the Nigerian Port Authority will be the Yoruba Port Authority. We'll control our own port by ourselves. We'll control our custom. It will be given Yoruba name. Because we can't accept this nonsense of unity system stealing our wealth. You call it Nigerian Police Service. No. Yoruba Police Service. They even call it Nigerian Police Force. No. We'll give it our own name. Yoruba Police Service. Half Igbo Police Service. Half Hausa Fulani Police Service. The military, we're going to decentralize it, the armed forces. It will be the Yoruba National Guard. You have Igbo National Guard, Hausa Fulani National Guard. Stay in your own space. We know this war. Of course, American military establishment, they want to sell weapons. The English, they are the second largest exporter of weapons. Fulani, all the crude oil money that you are keeping in London, they will use that money to send you weapons. Of course, we're going to get weapons from Israel. We get weapons from America. We kill ourselves, and Nigeria is going to break. And we're going to share our wealth with the good people of America and the good people of Israel. It pays us. We have the right to choose and pick our friends. We don't want to be friendly with you, Igbo and Fulani. We're not even neighbors. If you hop into a car from Accra in Ghana, you will cross 3 countries before you get to Lagos, Ghana, Togo, and Benin Republic. If you get into a car in Accra, Ghana, and you get into a bus in Enugu, Nigeria, you will get to Lagos from Accra before you get to Lagos from Enugu. We are not neighbors to the Hausa Fulani and to the Igbo. We are not neighbors. We would rather go to war with you, fucked up the rest of Nigeria, and we go our separate way. We're not neighbors. We are neighbors with the good people of Benin Republic, Togo, and Ghana. We are closer to them than to you, Hausa Fulani. If you are traveling from Kano to Lagos, you are going to travel for like 2 days before you get to Lagos. But if you hop into a bus in Ghana, you will get to Lagos the same day. We're not closer to these people. So it is better off for us to get out of this space if they will not accept a return to regional government. So we, the Yoruba, we want to stay in our own space, and we want to do business with the people that we are closer to. We want to do business with the good people of Benin Republic, the good people of Togo, the good people of Ghana, the good people of Ivory Coast. These are our trading partners. Before Nigeria was created, we are trading with them. We don't trade with Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo. When Nigeria was created, Igbo started coming into our space in 1940 to do Omodo. Hausa used to be our slaves. But these people gang up now to destroy the constitution of Western Nigeria and introduce the unitary system. We will end this. And let me end this with this. To those who are calling for the unity of Yoruba land, Yoruba land can never be united unless we reduce intermarriage. We are the only nation that has the highest rate of intermarriage in Nigeria. That is why every time we're calling for unity, because of half Yoruba, half Igbo, half Yoruba, half Fulani. And there's another thing. A number of people that you see using full Yoruba name, speaking Yoruba, are actually Igbo or Fulani. They just want to destroy us. So let me give you this tip. If you see any full Yoruba name attacking Tinubu ferociously, I'm telling you, such a person is either Igbo, Fulani, or half Yoruba. That is how you identify them. It is practically impossible to see a full-blooded Yoruba citizen who will hate Tinubu passionately and who does not want him to be president of Nigeria, but will be rooting for Fulani or Igbo to be president of Nigeria. It is practically rare. In fact, as a matter of fact, I can tell you that it is inconceivable for you to see a full-blooded Yoruba who hates Tinubu passionately and would rather die for a Fulani or Igbo to be president of Nigeria. So all the people that are using Yoruba name on social media, attacking Tinubu, the majority of them are not Yoruba. Many of them are Igbo or half Yoruba. Because of the problem of identity, you blame your parents. You can't blame anybody. You can't blame the Yoruba nation. It is your parents who choose to get married out of love. And you will not say, because you are half Igbo, half Yoruba, you want Yoruba to be destroyed. You want everybody to have equal rights in Yoruba land. No, it is not like that. It should not be that. So, in conclusion, thank over 130,000 people that have watched us deliver this interpretation of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. Why we have done this is to impress it on you to fight for the reinstatement of our Constitution. We wrote this Constitution ourselves. Igbo suspended it. If you don't think this is slavery and colonization, you have no legitimate reason to blame the English who enslaved us. And we've been saying this recently. Nigeria will be 60 years of independence next month. Anyone that is 60 years and below, you've never experienced slavery or colonialism, you should not think like slaves. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for the opportunity you've given me to speak to you. I'm getting information that over 6,000 people are watching us across different platforms. Thank you very much. And this will bring us to the end of this campaign. And then while we are ending this campaign, I have a trial in court, which I face. And I will crave the indulgence of conservative Yoruba, wherever you are, particularly those of you who lives in England. It is important for you to come to court and participate. You don't allow the best of your brain to be destroyed by foreigners or to be destroyed by liberals. So I want to see you guys in court. I have not been given the trial date, but my solicitor says to me last week, Friday, that it's likely going to be next year. I will definitely communicate the trial date with you, and I will be pleased. And I believe my children will be proud of their father. If you guys can come to court and show support, to be very, very impressive. So thank you very much, guys. I don't know whether I can take questions, but I just want this to end quickly. Okay. Yeah, somebody has told me that it could take almost, if you are coming from Maiduguri to Lagos, it could take about 3 days. Yeah. Let me see some of the questions that are in here. Yeah, there's a lot of you that are watching everywhere. Thank you very much, guys. I think it will be honorable for me to go and take a deserving rest. It's taken to. So it will be deserving for me to just go there. I can see a lot of comment, but I want to give a parting shot, and it will be good if we start addressing Oni of Ife as the head of state, because his position is recognized in our constitution. He's actually the head of state of Yoruba, and so when we put that after his name, it will be honorable. Alaafin of Oyo remains the president of Yoruba, and he was the president of the House of Obas. So it will be good to address these people appropriately. The office of the Premier of Yoruba, which I like to call Prime Minister, is not vacant. It has always been as a result of party that has the majority members of MP. In this case, we don't have MP in Yoruba land anymore because the Igbo suspended our constitution, but we have governors. Out of the 10 states we We used to have 8 governors from the APC Conservative. We lost Edo recently, but the man has not been sworn in for his second term, so we still want to retain the 8 governors that we have. So the de facto premier or prime minister of Yoruba land today is no other person than Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so which a lot of liberals do not like. But that is this case, and that should be the circumstances. So we would like to call Tinubu prime minister of Yoruba land. Alaafin of Oyo, president of Yoruba land, and of Ni of Ife, head of state of Yoruba land. Thank you, guys. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Oduduwa Republic.